If you want to self-publish a book in 2024, you're in the right place, because today I'm going to walk you through the process of publishing on Amazon KDP step by step as a beginner. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Latoya Nicole, and I published a coloring book a few years back, and that grew into a multi-six-figure coloring book business. And speaking of coloring, if you didn't know, I'm so excited to have just released my 10th coloring book, celebrating love, just in time for Valentine's Day. Get at your girl, link in the description. But I know if you clicked on this video, you might be wondering, does it even make sense to sell on Amazon in 2024? And if so, how do I get started? That's what we're going to talk about today, so keep watching. And just a few quick church announcements. If you enjoy this type of content, I'm getting ready to send around a collection plate, but don't worry. You don't have to put any money in it. All I need you to do is like and subscribe so that I know to keep putting out more content like this. So the first thing you'll want to do when you start selling on Amazon is go to kdp.amazon.com to create your account. Now, when you go to the Amazon KDP website, you only need to sign up for an account if you have never shopped on Amazon before. If you have, you can use your existing login account. When you sign up for KDP, you'll need to complete your account profile under the account section. This includes your personal information, such as your name, your address, your tax information, so either your social security number or your business EIN number. Now, you don't have to have a business to start selling on Amazon, but if you do, you would just enter that information in. Back when I first started in 2018, I did not have an LLC for my business. And a lot of my students in my program don't start with a business either. So after you enter that information in, you're also going to want to enter your bank account information so that you can get paid. KDP pays royalties once a month. Step number 2 is you'll want to do niche research. Now, I touched on this a little bit in last week's video, but just remember that coloring books are a niche of their own, but you'll want to niche down even further to maybe like stress relief coloring book or animal coloring book. You'll want to dig deeper within those niches to pull out specific niches that would relate to your specific customer. So that means you have to understand who your book is going to be for. I use AMZ Expander, which is a Chrome extension. It gives a drop-down list of keywords, and this will help you validate and confirm if your book idea is in demand and if others are already searching for this type of book, because when you see those keywords in the drop down, that means that other people have already searched for this type of book. So that tells you that people are interested in this specific niche. Step number 3, you're going to create your book. For me, I actually love the creation process because I get to see the book start coming together. And for this step, you can hire an illustrator or you can use AI tools like Midjourney. For this specific book that I just published that I was telling you all about, with these images, I actually hired an illustrator. I use the same illustrator for all of my books. That is because I like crisp black lines in my book. AI can be more of a feel of grayscale books. People like grayscale books. So it's just a matter of personal preference of what you believe your specific audience will like. Now, one of the things that I did do differently in this particular book that I've never done before, I actually used Midjourney to give me inspiration for some of the images, and then I sent that over to my illustrator for her to perfect those images and to make them come to life without the gray. So even if you decide not to use Midjourney for your full book, you can still use it as inspiration so you'll know what to send your illustrator for your pictures that will go inside of your book. Now, Midjourney is a subscription-based plan, and you can start with a subscription as low as $10 a month. When you are hiring an illustrator, of course, you're going to pay more for the quality and for them doing the actual work for you, okay? So just keep that in mind, that if you do hire an illustrator, consider it an investment in your business. After you have your illustrations, you can start putting your book together. Now, I use Canva for this process. It is free to sign up for Canva. I've used the free version for years. So after you put your book together, you're gonna need to start thinking about your title and what your description is going to be for your book. For this part, I use a combination of creativity. What I usually do is I write all my notes about what I believe my book is about, and then I insert all of that into ChatGPT and I say, hey, can you rewrite this, or can you make this sound professional? Do you suggest anything needs to be added to it? And so I use ChatGPT to kind of refine it. You can even go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm making a coloring book. My niche is black men and women couples. Give me some examples of what my title should be. ChatGPT will give you some examples. I do not suggest using it word for word, but use it as inspiration so that you can pull from that and create your title and subtitle. And make sure you're inserting some of those keywords that you got from the AMZ expander drop down into your title and subtitle. Then you're going to want to design your book cover. I usually go back to Canva for this. Anything with design, I always use Canva, so I usually go back to this for my book cover. And then you can either use the AI sites like Midjourney, or you can hire an illustrator for this, or you can even use sites like Fiverr. I'll link below one of the guys that I use. But one of the things that I will say is people do judge a book by its cover, and your cover is going to be one of the first things people see when they're scrolling on Amazon. So this is something that you want to make sure you nail down. One of the things to do to know if you have a good book cover, once you know what your book is going to be about, look for 3 to 5 other books in that niche that is going to be like your book, and take a note of their book cover. Put your book cover side by side with theirs and say, the mine not popping and mine don't stand out like these. I need to go back to the drawing board, and maybe I don't need to create my cover myself, but maybe I need to hire someone through Fiverr or an illustrator. What I did for this book, I had my illustrator create the graphic, right? So she created this. When my illustrator creates my graphic, I then go to Canva. I put my book cover together myself. So the fonts and outlining and adding this part to it, the black and white to it, all of that, the color background, all of that, I actually do the designing part of it myself, and she creates the illustration for me. All right, so after you have your 2 files, which is your interior file and your cover file, then it's time to upload your book and publish it on Amazon KDP. So for this part, all you would do is click on the create button. You would follow the prompts. Then you're going to choose your keywords and your categories. Decide on your pricing and your royalties. For that part, I always consider my book niche and how much I actually want to make on each book. You also want to consider your book length when you are choosing your price, because most of my books are 24 images. But for this book, because it was about love and I wanted it to be a his and her coloring book, I actually did these images like I did my Mommy and Me images, which are upside down from each other, with the intent that the husband and wife can color together across from each other and bond. Because I went from my normal 24 pages to 100 pages, and the reason that it's 100 pages is because all of the blank pages that are inside, your copyright pages and all of that are included in the 100 pages. My book's print cost is going to be a little more because I have more pages in it. So the least amount of pages, the least amount your printing cost is going to be. The more amount of pages, the more amount. So you just want to play around with that royalty to get it to what you feel comfortable making per book. Amazon does all the shipping and the customer service for you, so of course they got to get their cut too. But like I said, you can see all of that in your pricing section. Then just make sure you preview your book and make sure everything looks good, and then you'll want to order your proof copy. I always order proof copies because I want to see the book in person. Sometimes when I see the book in person, I might notice an error that I didn't notice when I was looking at it from my computer screen. So I'm going to insert this clip showing you from when I received my proof of this book. And as you can see, the proof copy actually has not for resale around it, but everything else about the proof copy, as far as the inside of the book, is going to be the exact same. You're just looking at it to see if any revisions need to be made or anything. If it does, you could just go back into your Amazon account and make those revisions. Once you review your proof and everything looks the way you want it to look, then you will hit that publish button. Usually within 72 hours, Amazon will approve your book, and then you will be an author. Congratulations. So there you have it, your step-by-step guide on self-publishing a book on Amazon KDP. Now, if you're ready to take a deeper dive and watch me walk through the process of how I actually did each and every one of these steps, then I got you covered in my coloring book course. Just click the link in my description. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing this video, and commenting. And until next time, bye-bye.